I think I bought my first property in 2002, and then probably a couple of years later bought another property on auction, and then there were some cottages that got built and started renting those. And I would say in total probably 20 years, I would imagine, is how long I've been involved in real estate.
So the first property that I was involved in buying was back in 2008, and it was a massive learning curve for me. Since then there have been a couple of property purchases, and I've had a rental property since 2015, so that has been an even bigger learning curve.
Originally my property was up for rental, and after some guidance and advice from David, I decided to sell the property. My expectations were that I would sell the property quickly and I'd get the price that I wanted. But it didn't work out like that at all.
I didn't really know what to expect, it's the first time that I've ever owned a home that I've sold, but I just expected somebody who would come in and give me a reasonable market-related appraisal, and somebody that would be reliable and friendly and, that I would know is always there for me.
Over the last 20 years, I have worked with more estate agents / property professionals than I care to remember. And the general feeling has been it's left me with a bad taste in my mouth, because they tend to be really interested in their commission and then they're out the door and you never hear from them again.
I haven't worked closely with, but I have had dealings with many property professionals. And I think the biggest frustration is not having a relationship with the property professional, because you very much feel like you're on your own, and trying to contact that person is sometimes extremely frustrating.
In the beginning, they were very eager and very willing and very keen. There were lots of viewings, there were lots of people in and out. And then that all sort of dwindled away once they realized I wasn't prepared to sign the sole mandate. And my reasoning for not signing a sole mandate was, I thought the more agents I had working on this property for sale, the bigger the chance of me actually selling it and getting what I wanted for it.
The first property agent that I got in gave me a really overinflated price for my property, and of course, you always think, oh wow, this is amazing, this is wonderful, I can get more than I expected. So I went with the first agent. I gave them a sole agency for 3 months, and unfortunately nothing happened in that 3 months.
I think David cold called me, and I just happened to be at the point where I was seriously considering selling a place or renting it, and he offered to come out and see me and talk about it, which I thought, well, what have I got to lose here? He came out, and in the end I said to him, look, I want to sell it or rent it. And he said, look, I don't really do rentals, I'm more on the sales side. But you know what, he went out of his way and found a tenant for me that turned out to be an excellent tenant. And then he later on, he followed up to find out if that tenant had worked out, which makes me want to do repeat business with a bloke like that.
When the property was up for rental, I had for some reason given the security guard my cell number because I was looking for a tenant. David then got my number from the security guard and he gave me a call. We met for coffee. He did a full presentation to me on what to expect, both rental-wise and in the selling of the property. He gave me comparative figures of other complexes in the area and advised me from beginning to end a more realistic price range to put my property on the market.
I was recommended to David by a very good friend of mine. Actually, it's a mutual friend, and when I told her that my place was up for sale, she said to me, well, why don't I contact David, and she's sure that he would be able to help me, so I accepted gratefully.
I find David extremely personable and very professional. Literally, if whatever he says he's going to do, he will follow up on.
Also, I think on more than one occasion I've phoned him and asked him like advice or an opinion or something on behalf of someone else who's dealing with property at the time. And he's not like, oh look, sorry, they're not my client, I've got nothing to say about that. He will go and do the work and come back to me, give me an answer and this is something that he's not going to make anything out of.
David is very professional. He does his research, he does his homework. He is always contactable. If you phone him in the middle of the night, he will return your call.
I've been absolutely thrilled with David's work ethic, his general management of me, the way that he has dealt with me. He makes you feel like he's on your side. And, you know, when he said, I'll give you feedback, he gave me feedback both verbally, and he used to send me weekly reports of how many viewings I'd had on the internet of my property. And, you know, it was wonderful to know that he was there for me and reliable.
Definitely. I think as a homeowner, you're sort of in the dark. You don't really know the whole process involved. David helps you from the beginning to the end, right through the posting of the property on social media and advertising it, to taking potential buyers through, signing the OTP, to everything. From beginning to end, it was almost like he was holding my hand throughout the whole thing. I never at one point ever felt that, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, without a doubt, I would recommend David. Operates with integrity and honesty and
extremely professional. So I wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah.
He's fantastic to work with.
Of course, definitely. If I had a property in Timbuktu, I'd ask David to sell it.
Absolutely. Everybody that I speak to, I actually say to them, if ever your property is for sale, I can highly recommend David to you, and I will continue to do so.